Good morning, everybody. Glad to see that you're here. I am going to give some of you a minute or two to join us. Make sure you have your favorite cup of whatever you're drinking. I have some vanilla tea today to give me some energy. I have a lot to do today. And I see Lisa popped on. How are you, Lisa? Thanks for being here. And I definitely need some energy today. I have lots going on. So I'll give some of you a few minutes to come on. And today we have a really big episode, something that is near and dear to my heart. Many of you know or have seen that I am an EFT practitioner. So many of you don't know what that is. And today I will explain it to you as best as I can. And hopefully it will help you with some of your anxiety. My focus over the next several months will be helping you with anxiety because I too actually suffer from it. And I have for many years. And I found that now that I am 50, over the last few years, as I approach 50, my anxiety really started to worsen. And not only do I feel anxious more often, but the intensity of the anxiety has really increased as well. So that's going to be my focus over the next several months, to give you as many tips on dealing with anxiety as I can. And hopefully if you need me, I can be of service to you, because that was my intention to this week, to find 3 women that need my help. Because I am of service to you. So if you look back yesterday at what we wanted to manifest this week, that's what I plan on manifesting. 3 new people that I can be of service to. If you want to know more about what a private session with me looks like, reach out to me, and consultations are always complimentary. And we have a good time on those calls. We get to figure out what is best for you and what would be the best way to approach your challenges, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you with your challenges. Good morning, Maria. I'm glad you're back. So if I don't see your comments or questions, it's because I guess I don't have I'm not really using Facebook Live, right? I don't always see them until later, but I will always respond to them later on after this is done and I post it to the top. So if you feel that anybody could really get something out of what I put on my page in this group or the videos, please invite them to join the group, because the more the merrier. Have them like my page. Let's build a community, because we are here to help each other. And believe it or not, if someone says that they're dealing with an issue, whether it's something new or something that they've been dealing with for a long time, if you post it, especially in this group, because this group is private, and I have recently added questions. If you want to join the group, you have to answer some questions, but you may not even realize that you could in turn be helping somebody else. So please put your questions. Hi, Nicole. Put your questions. Send them to me. If you want, you can even send them to me privately and say, listen, please don't mention my name. I totally get that too. I respect your privacy, as well as everybody else should in the group. So please put it out there, share my group, share my posts. Let's build a community so that we can all kind of link arms together and help one another, because we're all going through this life together, right? All right, so it's a few minutes after 10, so I want to get started on my topic today. And like I said, I am really excited about this, because I've been an EFT practitioner for several years, and it's amazing to see how it has helped my clients. I do workshops on this, and stay tuned, because I will be doing a workshop through this wonderful thing called the web. I'll be doing a Zoom workshop coming up, and you guys will hear about it first. But to see the transformation and the changes and the elimination of blockages in our energy system with my clients is truly amazing. I love this tool. I found it several years ago after my son was born, and my youngest son, for those of you that don't know, my youngest son was born premature. He almost died twice after he was born. Had a lot of issues, many medical and medical issues as he got older. He does have some social anxiety now. He is 15 and he's doing well. Again, but he's 15 and has some 15-year-old issues, which kind of goes along with it. And dealing with the school systems, and I've dealt with a few school systems, it's not always easy when you're dealing with a child with an IEP that has a learning disability and some social anxiety. So that has been really a challenge for me. I have found that over the past couple of years with relocating from Maryland to New Jersey, that again, and me approaching 50 at the time, my anxiety was getting heightened, and I really kind of blamed it completely on, oh, it's my hormones, I'm starting my changes and things like that. But I've noticed that I've read a lot more, and there's a lot more that goes into anxiety than just your hormones. So that's for another show. But EFT, you might be saying, what the hell is EFT? You may have heard people talk about tapping. It's the same thing. Last week in the group and on my page, I posted a short video from the Tapping Solution by Nick Ortner. He is the owner of the Tapping Solution. And in that video are some of my favorite gurus in personal development. So you saw Louise Hay and you saw Dr. Wayne Dyer, and they are truly my favorites. They put me on my path. And they did tapping, and they talk about how amazing it works. And it truly, truly does. I can speak from experience. And if you go, I have many recommendations and referrals and people saying like, wow, this stuff really, really works. So it's part of my toolbox. I want it to be a part of your toolbox. So let me explain to you what it is, so you can kind of, get a feel of what I'm talking about. And if there's anything that you don't understand, you could post a question here. And again, for some reason, I don't always see them. But I will answer them later on. Oh, I see some more people. Hi, guys. Have joined. Thank you for being here. I hope you're nice and warm because it's freezing up here in New Jersey. So what is EFT? So EFT is emotional freedom technique, sometimes called tapping, and it was created by Gary Craig back in the 1990s. It was derived from the ancient practice of acupressure and acupuncture, except you're not using any needles. So instead of using needles, you're just tapping on different meridian points throughout the body and the face as you talk or think about whatever your problem is, right? And meridian points are just these little energy circuits that run throughout a body, because our body is all made up of energy, right? So by tapping on them, the different spots, and I'll show you what the spots are because we're going to do a little bit of tapping in a minute, you actually get rid of the blockages in your energy system so that your energy could flow better, right? There are some days where we feel like we're really on and our energy is flowing right. And then there are days that we're like, oh, damn it. Like, I'm just not getting it. Like, I'm just not feeling it today. And our energy could be blocked. So this works on physical, mental, spiritual, any kind of pain that you can experience. EFT works. And the best way I found to explain it is picture for a moment whatever complete bliss is to you, wherever you find the most peace, right? Wherever that is. It could be the beach, it could be the mountains, it could be the meadow, it could be somewhere in your own home. Picture that space. But in order for you to get to that space, you need to walk through the forest with lots of trees, right? The trees symbolize energy blockages, and those energy blockages kind of, they make your path a little more challenging. It takes a little bit longer to get around the trees instead of having a straight path to get to where you want to be. So if we knock down a tree, we start to create a path. Sometimes what happens, and this is the great thing about EFT, when you knock down that tree and it knocks down another tree, that subsequent tree can represent the energy blockages that we have in our energy system that go so far back that we don't even remember them. We have no recollection of them. We've heard many times of people that have experienced such horrible trauma as children that as adults, they have no recollection of it. They don't remember it at all. Well, that's what those secondary trees represent. And EFT can actually heal those and get rid of those blockages without having to relive what happened. And this is exactly why many therapists now, talk therapists, are using EFT in that practice, because they're making headway, they're making better strides in therapy. It's, people are getting healed more quickly by using this along with talk therapy. So that's another reason why I really, really love it, because it really works and it'll heal the things that need to be healed. It's sort of like I've had this happen so many times in my sessions where people come in and like, okay, I need to work on this. And as the session goes on, it takes a completely different direction, because your higher self, your soul, knows what needs to be healed first. And it'll take it in the sequence that it's meant to be taken in, which is really important on the healing process. You can't jump to step 10 if you didn't start at step 1. So let's see. I have my so EFT has been used to overcome anxiety, depression, trauma, stress. It's used again for mental, spiritual, physical pain. It works on everything, and trust me, it takes some time. It's easy to learn, and you'd be amazed, really, like I said, at the results. Using EFT, emotional scars will disappear. Like I said, those subsequent trees, we have so many emotional scars that we carry through life, and it's just so not necessary. And when we get rid of those blockages, we are closer to living in peace, and peace within our hearts. That's what we need to strive for. We need to strive for that and find ways that we can do that. So if we can eliminate guilt and past pains that we carry with us and scars, we will be that much closer to living in peace, right? It could be done anywhere. It could be done at any time. Once you learn the steps, you don't necessarily need to work with a practitioner. So what happens with many of my clients, they'll come and we'll have sometimes multiple sessions. They get a handle on their situation, and then they tap themselves. And then when something major happens again, they call me back and they say, hey, Teresa, I really need some help. And I get them started again, right? Because sometimes I'm just an observer. I'm not in the middle of your trauma or your crisis. So it's a little bit easier for me to help you work through it when you're so emotionally attached to something. But for everyday things, or even some of the big things, you can use this on your own. But then at times you might feel that you need a little bit of help. So that's when you will call in me, hopefully. Okay, let's see. All right, now let's get into the nitty gritty. So there are certain points on the body that we tap on when we are doing EFT. So when we start, and we use the karate chop point, which is right here on the fatty part of your hand, where if you were giving somebody karate chop, you would just tap there. Now, you can tap either side. It doesn't matter. You can go back and forth. It doesn't matter. If you happen to skip a spot, a point while you're tapping, it doesn't matter. EFT is so forgiving, so it's okay. This is the first spot, and we use our setup statement when we tap on this spot. So if we have any energy that's reversed, we'll make it flow in the right direction. The next one is the eyebrow point. That's right here where your eyebrow starts, and you're just going to tap there. I usually use these 2 fingers right there. The side of the eye is on the bone, right where your upper lid and lower lid, where they meet, and you're going to tap right there. Then under the eye, again, it's follow that bone. It's right there, and I try to do it like right under where your pupil would be, right? So in the middle. And the next is right here under the nose. And the next one is the chin. It's right here in that little divot right there. That's the chin. Now, for the collarbone point, we all have this little indentation here. If you put your fingers there and you walk over either way, it doesn't matter, right? You're going to find a little sensitive spot, right? A tender spot. What I do is I take my fist, so I make sure that I get the spot because it's a little spot, and I just thump right there. That's the collarbone. And under the arm is in the middle of where your bra strap should be. You just tap over there. And then the top of the head, I usually take my whole hand, my palm, and I tap around my crown area, right? And that's the top of the head. So those are the tapping points. If you go to, I believe it's on my page, and also on my page and in the group, I think I do have a sheet with the tapping points. I will repost it again later on so that you guys have it in case you need it. All right, so let's see. Yes, next thing. When we tap on the karate chop point as we're getting started, there's a statement that we say, and I say, you know, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I have found that there are many people out there that can't get those words out. They can't say, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And that's totally okay. It's really, really okay. That happens a lot with kids when I work with kids. So you could replace those words with, you know, I'm really okay. I'm doing okay. You know, I trust myself. And if you can't say that, say, I'm a good person and I'm okay. You could replace that with anything that feels right to you. If you can't say that you deeply and completely love and accept yourself, I really like myself. I'm working on liking myself. I like myself a little bit more. Anything that feels comfortable for you. And also, as we're going through and tapping, if something doesn't feel right for you, change the wording. When we work in a private session, I just repeat your words back to you. They're not my words, they're your words. That's why you're healing yourself. I'm not healing you, you're healing yourself. I'm just a conduit. I'm just teaching you how to do that. So you can just use your words, whatever feels right for you. There are different variations. Find what's good for you. This is just, today it's just going to be very, very generic so that you can get a feel for how it works and the different tapping points. Also, when we get anxious, sometimes we're a little bit nervous, but when we're dealing with anxiety, there's a lot of physical symptoms. I know that my chest gets tight, my heart races, sometimes my chest hurts, sometimes I get the shakes, sometimes my palms get sweaty, sometimes I get a headache, sometimes I get a stomach ache. All of those things are connected to anxiety. So as you're tapping, you can tap and on each point say, I feel, and talk about a physical symptom that you're feeling, anything physical. Talk about your emotions. I'm anxiety. I'm feeling very sad. I'm feeling very angry. Whatever it is, as much as your 5 senses as you could bring into the tapping experience, the better off you'll be. The faster you'll be able to clear things away. Let's see. So yes, any of those physical symptoms that you feel when you are tapping, you definitely should bring up in the tapping sequence. All right. So when we start, after we do a little bit of, when you're in a session with me, if you're in a workshop, we sit and we kind of get centered. We take a few deep breaths, and that's definitely what I would do. I would make sure that, you're in a place, that's quiet. Although if it's an emergency, you can really tap anywhere. But if you're sitting and you're carving out some time, find a comfortable space, have pen and paper with you, and definitely lots of water. When you do any kind of energy work, you really need to keep yourself hydrated. So you want to take a few deep breaths and kind of just center yourself. You could use alternate nostril breathing, which really helps to get yourself centered. And you want to just ask yourself, like, what is it that I need to tap on today? You might know right away. And whatever comes to mind, jot it down. Make a list, do bullets, whatever it is. The first thing that comes up to you, be aware of your physical symptoms, what you're feeling physically. I'm having anxiety, over my son's homework. My chest is tight. My breathing is very shallow. Write it all down. And sometimes you may not know. You might just be tapping, and this is what we're going to do today. It's generic, but just on feeling anxious. Okay? And make a note. Take a deep breath. Figure it out. You might need a few deep breaths. And then what you do is on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being not anxious at all, and 10 is being anxious through the roof. What you want to do is you want to place your anxiety on that scale. Like, I am really, really anxious today, and it's at a 10, right? The goal is to get that number as low as you can, as close to 0 as you can, right? So you want to get it to, and sometimes you might feel okay if you're at a 2 or 3 or 4. So that's why we do check-ins. You do a few rounds, you take a deep breath, like, okay, how am I feeling? And you see, and you watch the scale. And at some point, it could go up again because something new could come up, and then it'll go down again. And you just tap until you feel comfortable enough where you can walk away until another session. So let's see. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to just take a sip here. Okay, so get in a comfortable position. And I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out of your mouth. Let's do that again. Breathe in. Breathe out. And again, breathe in. And as you are exhaling, give your body permission to really release anything that you're holding on to. Maybe you feel your shoulders drop a little bit. And one last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Awesome. Okay. Now, you're going to follow along with me. You'll repeat after me. And again, if you're not comfortable with saying that you love yourself, that's okay. Just say, I like myself, and that's fine. You don't have to use my exact words. Okay? So here, and you can go back and forth. You can switch sides. Doesn't matter. So on the karate chop point, even though I feel so anxious, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling anxious, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel so anxious today, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, on the eyebrow point, I feel so anxious. On the side of the eye, the anxiety is so bad today. Under the eye, all this anxiety that I feel. Under the nose, I feel this anxiety in my whole body. Chin, my heart is racing. Collarbone, I feel so jittery. Under the arm, all this anxiety today. Top of the head, I feel so much anxiety today. Eyebrow, all this anxiety. Side of the eye, I can't control it. Under the eye, I hate feeling so anxious. Under the nose, I feel anxious all the time. Chin, my heart is racing. Collarbone, I feel so jittery. Under the arm, I just want these feelings to go away. Top of the head, I feel so anxious today. Now take a deep breath. And at this point, you can continue and do a few more rounds. I just did 2 just to kind of give you an idea of what you could say and how to go through the tapping points. You could do a few more, and many times I don't stop until I do 4, 5, or 6 rounds, but we're going to stop here for a minute. And what you would do is you would take a deep breath, And you will close your eyes for a second and see how you feel on that scale of 0 to 10 and rate your anxiety. And what you would also do is, like I said, you need a pen and paper. Write down what came up for you. Did your heart start to race a little bit more? Maybe it stopped. Did your palms get sweaty? Did you have a memory? Were you thinking about what is actually, maybe there was an incident that had just happened that made you feel so anxious? Write it down. Okay. And then you take a deep breath and you start over again. So we're going to go through another round of that real quick. Now, what you can also do is on each tapping point is say, all this anxiety, all this anxiety, and you could use the same phrase if you're not really sure where it's coming from. That's okay too. I just from experience, I go through the tapping points by what my client has said to me. And I write it down and we tap on their words. They're not my words. Also, what you can do if you're not really sure, this is a great way that some of my newbies, how it works for them. What they do is they pretend like their best friend is sitting in front of them and they're telling a story. So if they're anxious, or if they just had a fight with an argument with somebody, or something bad happened, or they didn't get a promotion, or they didn't get a job, or they had an argument with somebody, or they lost a client, or they lost a sale, pretend that your best friend is there, and as you're telling them the story, go through the tapping points. That helps as well. That's the storytelling method. And that's a great way to do it too. So let's just go through that again. So take another deep breath. Let it go. Remember where you are on that scale. And again, we start at the karate chop point. So at this point, you can say, even though I'm still feeling all this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm still feeling all this anxiety today, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I still feel all this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All this anxiety, side of the eye, I still feel all this anxiety. Under the eye, I'm still feeling very anxious. Under the nose, all this anxiety that I feel. Chin, I feel it in my body. Collarbone, I feel it in my chest. Under the arm, my breathing is really shallow. Top of the head, all this anxiety. Eyebrow, I'm feeling so anxious. Side of the eye, I feel anxious every day. Under the eye, I always feel anxious. Under the nose, the anxiety doesn't go away. Chin, I still feel all this anxiety. Collarbone, all this anxiety that I feel. Under the arm, all this anxiety. Top of the head, all this anxiety. And take a deep breath. So again, you would do a few more of all the rounds until you feel that it's right to stop. And you'll know you'll get used to when it's the right time to stop and take a breath and kind of, regroup and see where you are in that scale. You'll get to know. All of a sudden you'll be like, okay, I feel a little bit more relaxed. Or I just feel like maybe you'll let out a big sigh, and that's all good. Be cognizant of what's going on in your body when you're talking this through and you're tapping, because those are all little signals of you releasing and moving the blockages, right? So when you're done with that and you look and you're like, okay, I'm down to a 2. You know what? I think I can handle it right now. I don't need to get down to a 0. Or maybe you want to try and like, no, I can do this. I can get down to a 0. So then you tap a little bit more. Now, this works all the time. Just know that until you really heal what's ailing you, this will work. This is temporary. You're going to have to go back to it again until it's completely healed. Right? So you'll have to do it again and again. And that's why it's great, because you can do it anywhere. You don't always have to be with a practitioner. It helps you sometimes to work with a practitioner to get yourself started. And then you do it on your own, right? I feel like it's kind of like chiropractic. When you first go to the chiropractor, you go 3 times a week for a while, then twice a week, then once a week, and then you're on your own. And then you just go in for tune-ups. EFT works the same way. We start in the beginning, we get you all fixed up, and then you come in for tune-ups. It's the same thing. So I hope, let's see, anybody have any questions? Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to post them here. Tag me so that I see them. You could send me a private message. That's fine. You can email me, whatever you need to do. I am here to serve. If you'd like to do a complimentary session, consultation, please reach out to me. Let me know. We can get that set up. They're usually about 15 to 20 minutes. I call them my 15 minutes to freedom call, and we can talk about what it is that you feel that you need and what we can make a course of action. My call to action to you is to try this every day. I'm going to pin this video to the top in the group so you can go back and use it as a guide. Again, put your words in there, not mine. Be as specific as you can be. I had to make this general because I just wanted to get it out there and share with you how this works and what you do and the process. If you would like to know more about private sessions with me, reach out to me. We can arrange that. And I will be doing an online workshop because I know many of my clients don't live near me, and I can still serve you by doing an online workshop. Stay tuned for that. And I will be giving a $10 discount on my one-on-one personal sessions. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming out sometime within the next week. So keep your eyes open for that. And please, like I said, share my content. Share it on your pages, share it in your groups, let other people know what you like. If you see a post that really resonates with you, share it. I would greatly appreciate that so we can grow this community and we can really be here to support each other, because that's what we need to do. And I just wanted to read to you, to close out, a quote by Jeffrey Combs. If you don't know who Jeffrey Combs is, you should get to know him. He's an amazing person, and he's an amazing coach. He covers so many different things, but he posted something the other day that I really thought would help and really resonate with me. So I want to share it with you. It says, being relaxed is a skill developed by letting go of anxiety and worry that is overwhelming. Being relaxed is a flexible state of being where you are able to adapt and adjust with ease. As you no longer get overwhelmed and anxious, your energy will attract and create more prosperous opportunities and like-minded people to your reality. So I think that's interesting because the less overwhelmed we are, the better state of mind we're in, and like attracts like. So we will attract those peoples and those opportunities and those situations that are aligned with our vibration. And if we're overly anxious and overwhelmed all the time, we're just going to attract more of that in our lives. And that could be for another show. Anyway, I am so glad that you joined me today for episode 5. Please post in the comments did you like it? Did you not? Do you want to know more information? And I will be back live in 2 weeks. My goal over the next few months is to also do this every week, not just every other week. So let me know how you feel about that. Let me know things that you want to cover. We'll be covering all different ways to deal with anxiety. We'll be talking about guardian angels and crystals and things like all fun stuff like that. So I hope you will join me again. Thank you so much for being here. I do treasure your presence here. It really means a lot to me. And again, please, if you want to help me out, please share my comments, invite your friends to the group so they could be part of the fun, and look out for the specials that'll be coming out within the next week. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. If you have any questions, let me know. You can private message me, post them here. I promise I will get back to you. You make today absolutely fabulous, And remember, don't just live your life, love your life. Mwah! Thanks for being here. Namaste.